I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome to my channel. And welcome all my subscribers and all my friends that are stopping by. Please subscribe, touch the bell to be notified, and leave me comments and a thumbs up. Okay, today what I want to show you, I had a request wondering how I made this little doll top. So I wanted to show you how I made it. I went to my basic doll pattern book, and this doll is 15 inches tall and it's a little girl doll. So I have a pattern here for a dress for a 16 inch little girl doll dress. And this bodice fits her almost perfectly. But of course it's not long enough. So I traced my pattern, my bodice pattern out. And then I measured her to see how long I needed it. And I wanted it to come down 5 inches. So I have to leave at 5.5 inches for a 1/4 inch seam around the neck and for the bottom. So I drew this down 5 inches, 5.5 inches, sorry, and I lined them both up on a line. This is lined paper. Oh, you can see that very well. Set my book aside. So this is even across here. So I come down 5 inches here. And this is a 1/4 inch. The back neckline is a 1/4 inch higher up. So I go up a 1/4 inch further. So I come down my 5 3/4 inches on this side, and this is 5.5. But I start from the bottom up. And then her side seam is 3 inches, so I just come down and I mark 3 inches and then go across here. And as you see, I took and just rounded the corner like that. I folded my pattern in half like this, and I lined up my sides. So then I cut the two together, and now they're going to be even. So when I cut my pattern out, I cut two backs and a front of the fashion fabric, which is the striped. And I use these are fine fabrics, very lightweight. So I cut one lining on the fold of my front and two of my backs of lining, and the same for the fashion fabric. So then I ended up with 3 pieces of lining and 3 pieces of the fabric. I joined them at the shoulder, pressed them. I pressed it before I started the fabric, and then when I got it all cut out and that. And I found to hold it together, I give it a spray of spray starch, and then it pretty much you don't really hardly need pins. You might like, depends on how you, but these fabrics stayed really well together. So now what I'm going to do is I start down here just above the curve, and I sew all around here, up here, around the neckline, down here, and up to this, where the curve stops, up here. And I leave a space in here. I don't sew that. And there's 4 places I don't sew. That's here, here, down on this side, and on this side. Then I come up to here and I do around the arm, and then I start here and I go around the front of the hem line up to this point, and then I do the other armhole. And this one I have done. And you can see I have an opening in here, one in here, and one on either side. Now I have to turn this. Now you can do it different ways. You can do it with a chopstick, or I have these little forceps, and I use those for turning it. Makes pretty easy sometimes. Tuck it in there, and I bring it out on the front. And then I go in the same side, the side of the front, and I catch it down here in the corner, and I do the same thing for this one. And you can take something to poke all those edges out on the sleeve or armhole. And then if you give it a good press, when it's all open like this, it's easy to do. And then all we have to do is fold this over like this, and sew a seam on this side and one on this side. See, I have this side sewn, and I just pinned this so it would hold together. But if I would pinning it to sew it, I'd have my pins going in on a right angle. Now I'll show you what she looks like with it on. And of course I put some hook and loop tape across the back And it's fine like that, or if you want to tie a little ribbon on it. This is a little belt I made out of braiding embroidery floss. Now there's another way of doing it, and you could hem these edges just by turning them under. And the sleeves and the neckline. But I've chose to put a binding on them. So I cut a piece on the bias, about 1 inch, and just put it along the edge of the armhole, pinned it on there, and I'll stitch it. This side I've already stitched it, and I press this edge in towards the tape, and then I just fold it over like this, and on the front side I stitch in the ditch. And I have done the neckline, it's all finished. And then I trimmed the extra fabric off here. Now this won't fray because it's on the bias. And I've done the hem the same way. So it's a quick and easy way of doing it. And that gives you a little extra trim. So if you're interested in, if you have any more requests, I'll try and help you out. Check out the link for my Etsy shop below for my pattern book. And subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye now.